You never know.
Hey,
Facebook will catch like this. Welcome, guys. What kind of dancing are y'all doing?
I'm like jamming. I'm grooving.
You all know about my
All right, let me stop. Welcome, guys. I love playing that song because this time of year for me, I feel like it's always level up season. It's like we're in the second half of the year. You get an opportunity to decide how you want to play the game. You get to decide how you want to show up for the rest of this year. And so I'm super excited to have some of my clients here with me. These are my clients who are in my highest level program. They're a next level authority, and they're here to talk about this journey of becoming the type of woman who creates 100K months. What?
Yeah.
So, I'm going to have them introduce themselves in just a minute, but I want to just talk to y'all for a second because I want to make sure we're all on the same page. Some name it and claim it, blab it and grab it. I'm just going to declare over my life that I'm going to start doing 100K months and they're going to show up. And we're going to talk about that today because I think a lot of people think that, like, if I just say I want to do 100K months, eventually it's going to happen. I know that I can do it. I'm like, I know you can do it too. And there's some other things that I want you to be aware of. And we're going to share all the behind the scenes, the ups, the downs, the good, the bad, the extraordinary, the fun, and the ugly of this journey. So we are in what I call my belief series. I do one of these every year. We started off with Kristen Perilous sharing how she made $65,000. It was a little more than that. I don't know the number, in just under 30 days. And I shared my income report just yesterday. And now we're talking to these beautiful, badass business women. One of the things that I know that has helped me to get to where I am today is this concept of belief, being surrounded by other people or those who believe, those people transferring belief to me, and seeing other people do what seemed outside of the realm of possibility for me day in and day out caused me to believe more in what was possible for me. You know, the me of today believes all kinds of things are possible because I've seen it happen in my own journey. And even with my clients, we're collapsing time. We're doing incredible things even during this season that we're in with COVID-19 and quarantine, where lots of people are seeing, you know, a fall back in revenue. We're actually increasing and hitting records in our revenue. And so what I know is that who I used to be had a lot of shame about my failure. And I used to get up and, you know, think that I would have to act a certain way in order to attract clients to me, put up this veil, right? And what I want to say is this. I heard this the other day, and I believe this is so powerful. And it's this, and we're going to kind of talk about this today too. Everyone can feel the energy behind your messaging and your offers. Addressing what's going on behind the scenes and under the surface, that's the real work. That's the real work we do in my community. We do the inner work. Why do we do it? Because your potential clients can actually feel what you think they cannot see. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So the question for you today, and you might want to write this down for yourself so you can journal it out, is who do you need to become to be able to create 100K month or to offer premium programs and actually get people to enroll in them, actually get people to buy from you, to collapse time and create record-breaking levels of income, to become the type of woman who creates 100K months. And that's the journey that we're going on today. We're starting this journey today in this series. It's all about becoming her. It's all about becoming her. So today, that's what we're talking about. How do you become a woman or the type of woman who creates 100K months? So I'm going to let them introduce themselves because you want to know who you're hearing from and learning from today. Plus, they're pretty badass, so you probably want to connect with them. So I don't know if you guys see the same direction as I see, but let's go Gabrielle, Bitsy, and then Ash.
Yeah, that's the direction I see too. Hey everyone, I am Gabrielle Leonard, and I am the best at helping you take what you do as a coach or a service-based entrepreneur and closing high-end long-term corporate contracts, right? That's who I am. I'm the best at doing that. That's where my brilliance lies. And my clients have been able to go on to do amazing things, close huge contracts, and just make some huge strides in the corporate industry. So that's me. That's who I am.
Fantastic.
Perfect. They can't hear me.
Hey everyone, I am Bissy McGregor and I am the founder of Fear to Freedom. I am the creator of the Live More Fearless method. I work with ambitious go-getters like yourself to go after whatever you want in your life and business without fear ever holding you back again. You can see me as your fear buster. That's who I be.
Love it.
Hey everyone, I am Ashley Nichols and I am an online business manager, but I want you to think of me as your right-hand gal. I'm the one that's going to help you move your business forward while you are doing what you are uniquely qualified to do, and I'm going to be in the back doing everything else.
This is what happens when Shameca is trying to do the most on the live stream and clicking buttons. Trying to be my own producer. It's not
Literally
working. All right, let me stop trying to be fancy. All right, so let's jump into talking about this topic. One of the things that I realized a long time ago is that this journey to me getting to millions in my business is about becoming. It's about the inside game, right? It's not about the strategy. I have been in this industry for more than a decade, and strategy over strategy over strategy hardly ever worked. And so I want you guys to share this journey because all of you have smashed your income goals this year. You've broken your own income goals and revenue records that you had, even sales records that you had in the past. And so I want you to talk about that journey. I want you to talk about the journey of becoming the type of woman who can do that, who can collapse time. And instead of doing 100K, in a year, you're doing it in a half a year or in 90 days. So I want to talk about that journey or a month even. And so I want you to share that, but I want you to share like the goal you set for yourself for this year, where you are now, and what that journey has been like for you.
I'll go first. So this year I set the goal to hit 500,000 in my business, and it was a stretch goal for me, but I already, surpassed 200,000 in my business at the half year mark. And so it's really not impossible at all. It's, I've been just doing this thing like, okay, it's been pretty easy. Like when I say easy, it's simple. It's not easy. Let me change that up. It's simple to do, but the work behind of it has been the part that was like, whew, chile. But that was the goal that I set for myself, and I'm already halfway there, y'all. And so it's been a huge journey for me to get from thinking that I'm not able to do it, I'm not capable of doing this, to doing it in a way that's not been super difficult, that feels like Shameca says all the time, it gets to be easy. It gets to be easy. You making the kind of money that you want to make. Like last month was a $57,000 month for me. It gets to be easy. It doesn't feel like a lot of work, especially when you're operating in your zone of genius. That part is so powerful.
I love that.
I love that. So you said it's been a huge journey to get here. I want you to kind of talk about that. So you said it gets to be easy. Sounds like you have a problem not working, like about working hard. Reminding yourself
Listen to me for a second. No, but seriously, like before I came to you, I had this epiphany of I was working like 16-hour days. 16-hour days were my normal. That was my normal thing. And I remember making a decision right before hiring you, like I'm not doing that anymore. So I cut my hours back to 4 hours a day, and I'm like, what can I get done in 4 hour days? But let me tell you, it's been difficult, right? It's been difficult. And then the reason why it was difficult for me was because I didn't have the tools that I needed to make it easy, right? So even though I was cutting my hours back to 4 hour days, I was working on things it felt like I was working hard, even though I was cutting my hours back. And so when I started working with you, you showed me the better way, the easier way to do things. And so I am so productive working from 1 to 5. Like I am so productive. And yeah, I work from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. and I'm still able to do things like hit $57 a month in my business. Like that's crazy, right? When I know I was working 16-hour days and I was barely struggling to make 2,000 a month, 5,000 a month, 10,000 a month. I was struggling. So that's where I came from, right? Knowing that I'm in this place where I don't have to work long hours to create wealth in my business.
Love it. Bissy, you were going to say something earlier.
Yeah, I was just, congratulations, Gabrielle. I love being in the company of these bosses here. Totally. Yeah. So just like Gabrielle, I had set up a goal for myself for 2020 to hit $113,000. And by half year, I was already at $115,000. And one of the big things for me was you didn't even dream big enough, because there was a part of me that did not believe I could hit that. I mean, I remember last year trying. All right, we're gonna wait for the celebration, y'all.
We're in our coaching calls right now. This is what Shameca does on our coaching calls, like randomly bust out the clappers.
Yes, yes. You know, I remember last year even just struggling, before I came to you, Shameca, and even whilst I was in a container for week after week after week, and it's like coming in there and saying 0 and 0 and 0, and it's like, what is going on? And I'm not a person that doesn't work hard. I'm not a person that doesn't get results. I'm badass at what I do. But the moment I was able to lean in and let it be easy, what Gabrielle just talked about, and really shift in my state, it was like a floodgate just opened. And then the whole thing was really learning how to receive it all. Learning how to receive it all. Yeah.
Yeah, that was hard for me too. Learning how to receive it, allowing yourself to receive it. That was a big one too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was one of the hardest.
So to make sure you guys caught. Go ahead, Ash.
Oh, I was just going to say that was one of the hard things for me to learn too, is I had never been able to receive what I was meant to receive. And so learning that valuable skill opened up the floodgates for me.
Yeah. So important.
Love it. Go ahead and talk. I'm going to put these bullet points up here that you guys have just said. So share your journey.
Okay. So my goal at the beginning of the year was $45,000. And this comes from someone who worked in a corporate job that was working many hours, like how Gabrielle talked about too. And in the beginning of the year, I had, through June 30th, I made about $20,000, but it was a hard $20,000. I mean, I was scratching to get that $20,000. And on July 31st, I had already booked $22,000 for the coming year, and I still have so many more months to do things. So it was.
Go Ash.
Go Ash.
It was the shift in me that I had to make a decision, and Shameca always tells us, once you decide, there it is. And it was, I had to decide, could I continue the way I was going? And no, I couldn't. It was not sustainable. The way I was working was not sustainable. I was never going to get to my goal. And when I decided that, I've done the work, I've got to be open to receive it, that's when that just flooded in.
Okay, so this is funny because I feel like I could have just wrote this sermon myself. If I write down all 3 things that you guys said, Ashley said it takes a decision, right? She had to decide that she could. She had to decide that she was open to receiving the money, which leads to what Bissy said. She had to receive. So I don't know if you guys were listening, but Bissy was saying she was showing up and reporting zeros in her income week after week after week. And at some point, she realized, I'm not even open to receiving this money. Like I'm saying, and I'm working really, really hard. But the reality of it is somehow, some way, I'm saying no. And she did the work in order to open herself up. And then boom, the floodgates open and she started breaking records like crazy. Like every week she was making 2-3 sales. It was kind of interesting. It was a beautiful thing to watch. And then Gabrielle just said, it gets to be easy. So as a consummate overachieving high achiever, which most of my clients are, hard work is what we equate to success, right? Work hard. If you put in the work, you'll get the results. And what we learn together and what we're practicing together is grace and ease. Gabrielle, I think you were saying this the other day, that you felt kind of guilty that you'd just been chilling. She had a $57,000 month and she's just been chilling, like laying on her back,
on bed
enjoying
rest.
her life. And she's like, on bed rest. So it gets too easy. Yeah. So think about it. The type of woman who's creating 100K months or more, or multiple millions in her business, is the type of woman that delegates lots of things. Mm-hmm. There is an ease and flow to her life. She allows herself to receive all the pleasures in life. She will step into a first class seat and be served all the goods. She will allow the bellman to take her bags to her room and meet her there instead of struggling with them up the stairs in the elevator because she can. She will allow someone to get the door for her or hold the door for her because that's just the kind of life she wants to live. And all of that is about deciding that that's the kind of who you want to be, opening yourself up to receiving, and allowing life to be easy. And that translates into your business. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that was so hard. Like the part of, I remember I was at the event in California and you were like, allow the bellman to take your bags and allow them to get you from your room and go instead of walking. And I was like, first of all, I'm Caribbean. Okay, we in Caribbean, being lazy is a sin. Okay, like and everything is being lazy. Okay, and so this was like this. I had to recondition my mind to allow things to happen. Like I would have friends who say, "I'm gonna get your lunch." I'd be like, "No, I'm good. I got it." It would be like a competition. Like who can get the I want to get the food first. No, I'm gonna get it. My friends will be trying to like help me out or whatever, and I'll just be like, "No, I'm good. I can do it." It's so bad. I remember, dating with my husband. When my husband and I were dating, he was like, "I want to get your groceries." I'm like, "No, I don't take help from a man." Like I was that kind of person. Okay, I'm just showing you guys this so you can see how deep-rooted this was for me. And so when I made a decision, okay, because it was a decision to say, no, I want to be the kind of person that gets waited on. I want to be the kind of person that has a team who buys into my mission and who is working diligently to make it happen, which I have an amazing team. My clients rave about my team, right? And so this was a decision. It was difficult, I'm not gonna lie, because especially if you have been taught, and I'm gonna go there, but especially as a Black woman, we've been taught you have to do twice as much work to get half as much as everybody else. And that's a deep-rooted thing that I taught myself, and I told myself every single day, right? Every single day I told myself this. And I know I'm going a little deep, but this is a thing that...
Oh, it's okay. I'm guilty too. Keep going.
Yeah, I literally told myself this every single day: you have to work twice as hard to get half as much as everyone else has. And so this was a culture I created for myself and for my business. I glorified being a workaholic. That's why now I'm so anti-hustle. Like, I'm so anti doing the most. I preach about it and people don't agree with me because I know what it's like to be a hustler, like hustling, hustling, hustling. And now my motto is literally booked, not busy. That's literally my motto. My clients say to me all the time is hashtag booked, not busy. Because I believe in being booked, but you don't got to be busy to be booked. Huh?
Hello. Truth. Speak, Gabrielle.
Right?
Listen, can we
So I
talk
was
about
thinking
that
about
decision for a moment? Because that
Yes, please.
decision, it is not a one-time thing. Okay, there are days where I'd wake up and I literally had to consciously say, okay, this is the decision today, because we are on autopilot. We're waking up and just, I'm ready to do the thing that I used to do yesterday or a day before. And I literally have to bring myself back to center and say, that's not the decision. What's the new decision? So that part for me was something I had to practice over and over and over again. Whether it's the decision to follow your goal, whether it's the decision to receive today, receive however little it is, I had to make that decision over and over again. Sometimes it's multiple times a day, guys.
Right.
Multiple times.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, as female entrepreneurs too, we've always been told you have to do it, you have to have it all, and you have to do it yourself too. So this decision to slow down and enjoy our lives as we're living them, not building for that future, that's something that, we have to make that conscious decision every day. Because it's like, if I don't have my hand on it, is it going to be as good as somebody else, you know?
Right.
And if people don't see me doing all the time, are they going to think, oh, she's not working that hard, or this is all fluff, you know? So I think, as a female, we've had this thing ingrained in us that, you know, to our male counterparts, that we have to be hustling all the time, you know, and we have to be doing the most all the time, or who are we to be in this space?
Yeah. I think you guys probably thought you were showing up for like step-by-step strategy on how to do 100K months from each of these ladies. And we'll talk about some stuff. But the reality of it is, this is a work we spend most of the time on. This is the part where most people get it wrong. Someone just asked me the other day, because we did, you know, almost $350,000 this past quarter. And they were like, I want to see your calendar. And I'm like, my calendar looks like Grace Nee's. My calendar is not booked to the hilt. I'm not running around like a chicken with my head cut off. I have learned, because I used to be the push, grind, hard person. I'll be diligent. And all the time that I was pushing, grinding, trying to be diligent, you know, people who say don't sleep till you have it, all of those things, I'm not about that life, because when I was doing that, I was broke. When I allowed myself to receive and allowed to trust the work that I am doing to work for me, now look at my life. It's barely recognizable.
Yeah.
Right.
So I want to talk about some tips.
No, go ahead. I was just
talk about some tips.
I was just agreeing with you.
She's like, come through. So becoming is not what people think. Right? It's not what people think. So what are some of the things that you do to work some of the muscles that we're talking about, and then also to cultivate certainty and confidence? Because Bissy, I think you said this earlier, that you had to make a decision that the goal that you set was going to be the goal. And sometimes you have to make that decision daily. I say sometimes you have to make that decision hour by hour, minute by minute, and sometimes second by second. No, I said what I said. I'm doing 100K this month. And my actions are going to align with that. So to cultivate this certainty, this confidence, and to really be able to take full ownership of your decision, what are some of the things that you guys do in order to activate that?
So I'll say, even that what you just talked about, the decision making, this perpetual decision. I love how Nikki puts that, perpetual decision. One of the things I have to do perpetually is clear the slate. clear the slate. Whatever happened 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, okay, it's happened. Let's learn and let's move. Because so many times and too many times I got burned, just stuck in what didn't happen. I got stuck just, ruminating over why it didn't work. And every day, every morning, I had to clear the slate. Like it's a brand new day. Bissy, you're brand new, period. The slate is clean. And even that I had to do multiple times a day if I needed to, just to keep me refreshed and certain in my movement in the next minutes ahead. So that for me, clearing the slate is a big one.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I need to be doing that more often because I feel like I do that like when I need to do it, but I think making a decision to do it every single day is actually really good. For me, it's journaling as if so I do future paced journaling. And that has been a huge, huge, huge thing for me. If you guys don't know what future paced journaling is when you journal, you'd make a journal entry as if your day has already happened. So I will, let's say, for example, and let me tell you, I've seen some crazy thing happen with this. So you journal, like say in the morning, you journal like, oh my God, today was an amazing day. I was able to close 5 clients. These clients are super excited to start. You journal exactly what you want your day to look like. As if it's already happened, and celebrate as if it's already happened in your journaling. And then you come back at the end of the day and you know what happened and what didn't happen. And let me tell you, there's been some crazy things, and it's so crazy how some of the things I write down happen exactly as I write it down in my journal. It's so insane, but
it's not crazy.
Yeah, it's mind blowing. Like I have my clients doing this now too because it's mind blowing. Because let me tell you, this actually, first of all, it anchors into your brain that this is what you're doing for the day. It's like, hey, this is what we're doing. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 2, your brain is now, and I learned this from Shameca, it's your brain now realizes, okay, I can do this. I've already went through the process from writing this out. So your brain already like acknowledge. Shameca explains this better, but your brain already acknowledges that this is a thing that you did, right? Because you wrote it down. You wrote it down. Your brain is like, we did this. Whoa, that's awesome. So when it's time to make it happen again, it's super easy because your brain already knows what it looks like to make it happen, right? And that has been a huge deal for me in my business because it's helped me to, especially I'm gonna make a confession, y'all. I'm a natural pessimist. I'm not naturally optimistic. And so for me, this helps me to recalibrate being optimistic about what's going on. If you let me, I will find all the bad. No, this is gonna go. This is what happened, and find blame and all kinds of stuff, right? But this allows me to remove blame, remove whatever. It's on me, and it's on the decisions I make. And this is what I'm capable of doing. That's been a deal, not a deal breaker, a game changer for me in my business.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So what I was going to say to add to that too was, I think if we can say something good happened from the pandemic and lockdown, it was that Ashley's mind shifted. And it was, instead of having that where I was going, thinking I was busy and doing everything and making all these connections and doing these things, it allowed me to slow down and be able to see what my time needs to be spent on and how I can move forward with everything. And that was one of the biggest shifts that I had. And it too came from, I was in the hospital for a couple days um, in the early part of February, and that helped me shift my mind too to say it. It gave me a reflection moment of saying you got to start moving forward. This could be the end, and would that be the thing that you wanted it to land on? So it gave me a lot of time to reflect and know that this is what I need to do, and I need to become that person that I've been dreaming about.
It's good. Bissy, did you answer this question?
I believe I did, but I have more to say if you want me to.
That's
There's
good,
a whole
man.
lot there. I was thinking about what Gabrielle was talking about, the future pacing, and that's definitely something I do, writing down. But what I do is the creative visualization of it. And that for me is always, that feels so good. I don't even want to get up and do anything because I'm in the moment. And when I get into it, it's just, when I get up and start talking to people, it's already done.
Can you break down what it looks like? Creative visualization. What does that look like?
It's exactly what you said with future pacing, and you're just creating a movie with your mind. Creating a movie with your mind, and how does it feel? They're telling you, congratulations, Gabrielle. What does it feel like? Who's talking to you? Who's congratulating you?
Love
and you're
that.
walking yourself through all of this, and it's just beautiful. And you feel all of it. When I open my eyes, there's no, busy. What are you doing today? No, I'm certain. I'm the fear buster,
Yeah.
So creative visualization is huge for me. Something else I was going to say was something I walk my clients through. Understanding what's your voice of fear and what's your voice of freedom. And in those moments, I need to ask them, like, well, okay, who is this, fear or is it freedom? What would freedom do? And then I take my step. Yeah. Very intentional.
That's so good. That's so good, especially when the part about.
I can sit here and listen to you guys forever. Like I can sit here and just listen to you talk. I'm just like, oh, listen to them. This is so awesome.
Looking like a pro mama over there.
Here's what. So I want to talk about risk, right? Because I know we could talk about this stuff all day because it's the life that we live. And this is the truth about what it takes to get to 100K months. It's not funnels, right? It's not what words do I say on the sales calls. It's not what do I need to post on social media to get people to want to buy my stuff? How do I show up on my live streams? That's all the questions people come to me with. They're like, what do I need to put on my pricing? How should I package my services? And the reality of it is, what we're talking about right here and right now, this is it.
Yeah.
This is what changes the game. And so I want to talk about risk because people want to create badass record-breaking results from the comfort of their bubble, from the toe dipping stance of, okay, I'm just going to step by step somehow get there. And in order to collapse time, it requires you to step into something you've never seen before. It requires you to put on a way of being that you've not yet allowed yourself to experience, or maybe you did when you were a little bit younger and people slapped it out of you, knocked it out of you by telling you to play smaller, be smaller. And so I want to talk about risk in different ways, risk that you've taken along this journey that paid off. Because I know all of you guys have stepped out to do something that seemed like, I'm not quite sure if I should do this. And then you can directly tie it back to, boom, you're up level. Right? I know that's true of me. Almost every time I invest in a new program, that's what happens, especially if it's an expansive program, like the investment level is higher than I've ever done before, or I'm sponsoring an event and it's like 20 grand to sponsor the event. And then boom, the rest of my life just shows up as to meet me where that decision is. So I want to talk about risk, any kind of risk you want to talk about. But I think it's important to understand that your expansion and your willingness to do something outside of your comfort zone, not the, I was going to say stupid. Let me just be nice. Not the memes that you see passing around that's like, you have to step outside of your comfort zone. That's a cute way of saying it. But the reality of it is stepping outside of your comfort zone is actually uncomfortable, y'all. So I want to give you guys the floor and let you kind of have a conversation around taking risk and really moving your comfort zone and how it ties to your expansion and your next level expansion.
I have a really good one.
Oh.
And that one was sponsoring your event, Shameca. I had never done something like that in my entire life before. So that was one of the biggest things. Now, mind you, I had already taken a huge risk or step in investing in your program, which was the highest investment I had ever made in a program before. And then to sponsor your event, I was like, whew, This is definitely outside. This is in like BC says, my stretch zone, right? I'm just like, this is a lot. This is a lot going on here. Okay. I had never done this. My husband was like, I mean, he was like, are you gonna do this? And it was scary. It was scary, right? And I remember going there, I was nervous. I had never sponsored an event like this before. And I had never done it like this before. And I knew that I also wanted to invest in your next level program. So I was like, there's a lot going on with money here that was way outside of my comfort zone. And I was just like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. But what I did was I told Shameca, I said, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
That was literally what I said. I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember at the event when she had made the offer to join her other program, I already was a sponsor then and speaker at the event, and I still came up to you at the back of the room and I was like, I'm doing it, but I'm scared. And she was like, I know you're doing it. I got you. Right? But that was let me tell you, no matter what level you're investing in, as long as it's outside of your comfort zone, it's gonna feel risky, it's gonna feel scary, it's gonna feel impossible, and you're gonna feel like the world, it's this moment is a moment that you will never forget in history. Like, it's just so huge right now, and when you do it, it becomes so small. Let me tell you, I literally just saw the receipt, Shameca, for my payment for the program, which is a 4-figure investment, by the way. And I'm like, oh, the payment came out. Like, literally, it's a 4-figure a month investment, y'all. I have no problem paying this at all. When I thought in the moment that I would never be able to pay this.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, there's no way.
Yeah.
There's who pays 4 figures a month for like what? Like, this is what I was thinking initially, right? Before I started charging the same thing, but we're not gonna get into that. But in the moment, it feels so impossible until you do it, and then you're like, oh, that was a little distant memory that just feels so small compared to what you're doing now. It's like, wow, it was an amazing decision. Because if I didn't make that decision, those hard, scary decisions that make you feel like your chest is coming out of your throat,
yes,
I would have never been in this moment right now. And I know that's on purpose.
I can guarantee that singular moment, that decision to do that, because you were also still paying for another program that you were in with me at the same time. And I remember being there holding you through the process going, okay, just hold her, let her decide. But I knew that it was the catalyst. That decision to stretch anything you had ever seen before, anything you had done before yourself, is the thing that catapulted you to where you are right now. It changed the game. It changed your mindset about investing and how you allow people to show up and talk about investing with you. Because you've already done it scared. In a sales conversation, if you've never done a scary investment, how the heck do you suppose you're going to walk somebody through their money objection? That's why most people can't do it. And they think they just need a script to make people want to buy from them at the $10,000 level. I'm like, no, boo, you need to up your investment game. If you want more money to you.
Yeah, that has changed. That has increased my closing rate 100%. 100%.
Yeah, because you're like, don't talk to me about that BS. I've already been there, right? What are you scared of? Let's have this conversation, right? You know what it's like to go through it, and then boom, just watch your whole life accelerate to the point, like you said, you look back. I was going to tell you too, what is your husband saying now?
He's like, what does Shameca say? What does Shameca say? Whatever Shameca says is okay. We're good. What does Shameca say? Like, that's his motto. It's hilarious.
I love it.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, he wasn't against
that.
Because we had already seen the first investment and what it had done, but it was definitely it was a stretch for both of us, and so now it's like we got it. You know.
Yeah. I love what you said, Gabrielle, about the comfort zone, and that very event too. You know, we'd already done Play Big. That's why we were there, and I knew I wanted to do next level, but I kept thinking, "Are you crazy? How are you going to do this?" How are you going to do that? Like, I knew if I took the risk, sure, it's going to be great. But it was like, wait a minute, pull back, Bissy. Wait, we're talking about 4 figures a month. Can you really do this? What you did, and this is what, in my world, this is what fear would say. What you did was a fluke. It was luck. So back it up. Don't play yourself. Do not sign up for this. And in there, again, was another decision. It was like, do I want to trust myself? What am I going to do? And move. So even in those risk takings, it's not ever rosy. It's never rosy at all. Even showing up in the containers with all of you, seeing what everybody else is doing and showing up there during when I'm having a low moment or my insecurities. That's super scary. It's like I'm naked, but being able to push through those moments and those times on the other end is just bliss. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think we all kind of had that same moment at Shameca's event too, because that investment, I was like, my business made that last year, and so I'm like, oh, here we go, but I was like, but I knew I had to make that investment to get myself to the other side. And then it was reminding myself of that decision and that risk I took when I was back at that event, when I started doubting myself, of saying, no, when you said yes to this event, this is what you saw in the future, and this is the person you wanted to become. And you knew Shameca was that person that was going to guide you and help you through this process. So you've got to take yourself back to that moment. And I think too, another kind of risk I took was, looking at everything I had done in my life previously and to the point where it had gotten me, and saying, if I keep doing the same things over and over and over and over again, where is that going to lead me, And so I knew that I had to change my mindset about what I was doing and how I was doing it. And within, 15, 30 days, I booked more money than I had ever booked in my entire life,
Same.
So I can think, so I can think it back to that decision of saying, why did you do this in the first place? And say, this is what I had to do. And so Shameca has really taught us too I keep a journal of anchoring my thoughts in. Every time I have something very exciting happen, I anchor in that thought of thinking, go back to this feeling. Remember what it's like when you felt like this. And so in those times when things aren't great, I can go back and say, but remember what it was like when it was this. And I think that's something that I really had to change in my mind, was remembering those times when times do get tough. Because it's not all, like Chrissy said, we show up, we're naked on these calls. We're like saying, I don't know what I'm going to do, what's going to happen, and then, to say, okay, I know it's going to get better.
Yeah, those calls are real.
Yeah.
Sure are.
I love that you guys are sharing about the calls, because I think people think they have to take a shower before they get in the bathtub. Like, you got to show up. Everything's already. I always love the first week of Play Big, because everybody shows up with their makeup on and their backgrounds. And I'm like, y'all could just leave that pretense. By the time we get to the end of Play Big, people are showing up with do-rags on, putting their makeup and doing their hair. Got their weave in one time. We are here to work. Doesn't matter. Yeah. All facades are gone. And your leadership does not leave because you're having a down moment. You are not less powerful because you didn't hit your sales goal the past month. And that is a lie that we tell ourselves that actually keeps us perpetually stuck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
So I want to talk about just your biggest lessons, right? If you had to sit in front of somebody, and guys, I want to invite all of you who are watching live right now, because this will be recorded, to drop some questions, if you have questions for any of these ladies, anything you want to ask, we're kind of open books here. Unless we're not, then we'll tell you. But just ask what you want to ask. We're going to take a few questions. Here's the thing. In my community, we're very clear about what we will say yes to and what we will say no to. Our boundaries are strong. As one of my friends likes to say, we are the boundary. I am the boundary. So you don't ever have to worry about, if your question will be answered or not. We'll let you know. That's one of the things about becoming. So I want to look at your biggest lesson in this whole journey, because it is a journey of becoming. And as overachieving high achievers, we want to wake up one day and have 100K month just there. We want to do a launch and in 90 days open a cart and be like, I had 100K month from start. And that's not typically how it happens, although it can, right? Because time is irrelevant. It's these pieces that we're talking about. When they're in alignment, collapsing time so fast, it trips you out, right? You guys, if you've been following me, you heard my story about focusing on doing 100K months, then realizing 7 days into the third 100K month that I hadn't had anything but $2,000 in new sales. And then that week I made 100K. That's what becoming does, right? And so I want you guys to share your biggest lesson. Like last time, it's your 90-second sermon. What's your biggest lesson on this journey to becoming that you would like to impart to someone else?
For me, go ahead.
So my biggest lesson, or one of my biggest lessons, and I feel like I'm even still in the lesson right now, is really fully accepting who you are, Bissy. Like all of the celebrations, I post a lot on my Facebook. I'm celebrating my clients. I'm celebrating myself. And then being able to show my down days, all of that is all part of you, Bissy. And being able to show that down, Bissy, up, Bissy, in between, being able to show and be that and embrace all of her, for me, has been one of the biggest lessons, because I call myself a corporate rat. I was in corporate for over 2 decades, and you had to be in position, you had to speak a certain way, you had to do whatever, and just taking that mask off. Some days, again, it seems like the things I learned are perpetual things. Some days I have to, you got your mask on, Bissy. Take it off. So really embracing all the pieces of me, the good, bad, and the ugly. It's part of why I'm here today and how I'm able to be on this live stream with these powerful ladies. So that's been my biggest so far.
Yeah. For me, the lesson is twofold. One is owning my power. For a very long time, I was running from my power because, number one, I didn't think I was powerful. But then when I realized how powerful I was afraid of that power. And I was scared. I was scared that I was afraid that I was gonna overshadow people. People were gonna feel a type of way about it. I was gonna get judged. People were gonna be intimidated, and they were already intimidated because I'm a 6 feet tall, plus size woman. Okay, so I already look intimidating, right? And so I was like, I don't want to be even more intimidating, right? People already tell me when I walk into a room, I'm already intimidating. Now, if I step into my power, how much more am I gonna scare people away, right? So I was afraid of that power. Like it was very scary for me to step into her, right? And when I did, I realized that this is where the money is. When you fully step into the power, step into your power, step into your brilliance, and own it, and really don't care what anyone has to say about it, that's where the power is. And for me, a part of stepping into my power and owning that is doing things like sharing my wins, which for me, I never would have thought of doing, because that's a no-no. Like when I share like how much money I made or whatever, I have people, loved ones, who are like, don't, in the Caribbean especially, don't be sharing how much money you're making. What going on there? Like don't be sharing stuff, right? Like, y'all heard the Caribbean. And I was like, this is a part of owning my power. A part of owning my power is talking about how much I want you to see is possible, from someone who was homeless, literally homeless, dropped out of high school in 12th grade, to now doing things like making 57K a month. I have to share that because that's a part of my power. That's a part of my power, and I have to own it, right? And it took a long time to get here because we are taught to be modest, we are taught to be humble, we are taught to be contrite and feminine, and and a part of being feminine is being powerful. So I don't know where that but me showing how powerful I am is very much feminine. The other part of it is playing big is a lifelong journey. Playing big isn't a thing that you do for 3 months in a play big program and then you're like, oh, it's done, I played big, great. No, because I'm in your year-long program and I still come to you for every new level. Like when I made 10K months, I was like, hey, oh my God, I'm freaking out. Great. I got there. It became a normal thing. Got to 20K months. Oh my God, I'm freaking out. Then I got to 40K months. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. 50K months. Oh my God. What's like it's every level that you go on, it's a lifelong journey. It doesn't happen in just this short amount of time. You have to have that mindset of playing big every day, every week, every year. And it needs to become a habit. It needs to become a thing that you just know that you're going to do every day. And having the support to do that is needed. For me, I used to think that if I invested I was talking about this to someone the other day. I used to think I would invest in a 3-month program and that's it. I'm good. And I don't need anything else because I did my part. I invested in a program. And I'm like, no, I need a year of support because every single level, there's a different thing or the same thing that I got to face in a different outfit. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. So it's a lifestyle.
Play big is a lifestyle, basically.
Yeah, play big is a lifestyle.
Yes.
Yeah, and you need the support. Like I can't tell you how much time I have to come and just rely on the support of my sisters in the program, right? Like I remember there were days I just cried. I just sat and cried. And people don't realize that this is a part of playing big. We are taught to hold all our emotions in, and we're taught that we have to be strong, especially as coaches. We can't dare show our weakness and our insecurities and our failures online. And so we have nowhere to go to be weak and say, I'm confused. I don't know what I'm doing, right? Like we don't have anywhere that we can go and do that, right? So having a place that's safe that I know, let me tell you, I've shared some private things in this program with my sisters on here that I know hasn't gone anywhere, right? Because it's a place where I can come and feel safe and share. And if we don't have a place to do that, and this is what I had to, it anchored in for me the other day, and I was telling a friend about it. If not having a place to do that literally robs you from playing big. And that was a big lesson for me.
Yes.
Sorry, I went long.
Absolutely. I love it.
I'm actually not sorry. I don't know what I'm saying.
No, it's okay. I'm still sitting here like, I'm just listening, taking it all in. Yeah. Ash, you want to go?
Yeah, so mine's like a combination of both, but like in the work that I do, I'm in the background a lot. And so one of my things was not owning me showing up as the person that I am and the powerful person that I am and the quirky person that I am. I think it was in Play Big. One day I just showed up in a unicorn mask and everyone was like, who are you and what are you doing? And I was like, oh, I do this stuff all the time, And then like I started doing things. And once I got out of that, people can only see you in this perfect square box on the Zoom session. Your makeup's done, you're perfect, you're looking. When I let go of that mentality of that, people need to see that you're a person. The good, the bad, the ugly, the funny, all of it. They need to see that because we're people and people need that connection. If we wanted a robot to do things, we could go hire them. They're made everywhere. But if you want people in your life and that connection, you have to be willing to show people that. And you have to be willing to let people see that. Or they just think, yeah, you're just another person to them. So I think that was like the biggest thing that helped me in my mindset, and my biggest challenge was understanding that I had that safe place. I had that community, and I could do it everywhere where it was safe to say, this is who I am. I'm weird. I'm quirky. I do random stuff, and that's who I am. But also I'm the most awesome person at my job, what I do and what I am helping people with too. And so you get it all of it's going to come out. And so I think that was really helpful for me. And doing that shift really opened up a lot of things for me.
And we love her and all her
I'm just giggling.
Oh yeah.
All of
The competitiveness,
Like, here's
everything.
the reason why we ended up having a costume party. Yeah. Got us all doing crazy stuff. Okay. Bissy,
Yes.
biggest lesson.
I went first. You want me to give another?
Yeah, she went before me.
I'm feeling like
Got
a
it.
stepchild.
All right. So maybe I need some water, Okay, so here's the other thing. We're gonna answer Nikki's question and then wrap up. But we're all doing 75 hard right now. If you don't know what it is, you can look it up. It just kind of happened out of the blue. But this is what I love about my community. So I show up, we're like, everybody's got their water. We show up on the mastermind call. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this program and here's what's going on. And here's, why I decided to do it. I'm on day 2. And the next thing I know, everybody's like, I'm doing it. I'm like, whoa, they're not playing. And here's the deal. This program is about cultivating mental toughness, or as one of my other clients, Melissa says, mental sovereignty. It is about you having control over your life, as opposed to allowing life to dictate to you, circumstances having to be perfect. So while it has to do with things like drinking water and, working out, it's like the courage experiences that I do, where I'm working that muscle that translate into business, because too many people think business is easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. Why? Because your thoughts, your self-doubt, your shame, whatever it is that stops you right now, you take it with you at every next level. That is what they've been talking about. So if you want to become the type of woman that creates 100K a month, you've got to get outside of your comfort zone, but not just in your business. So they all understand that, which is why 100% of them are doing this without me saying y'all are doing this. They're just like, we're in. So I'll tell you really quickly what it is, because it's crazy. We are doing 2 45-minute workouts a day, drinking a gallon of water a day, reading 10 pages of a book a day. What am I missing? No cheating, no alcohol.
Progress
and you have to stick to a diet.
Yeah.
Whatever diet that is, whatever meal plan that is for you, but you have to stick to it without going outside, without fudging the lines. And you have to do this for 75 days straight, 75 days in a row, not over a 75-day period, every single day for 75 days. Now, here's the deal with me. I signed up to do it by myself. Now that I have this whole crew of people that I'm leading alongside of on this journey, doing it with me, I'm like, oh shoot, I got to step up my game. Okay. So it just lets you know how serious we take the becoming, right? It is not just about strategy, right? So I want to answer this question, and anybody can answer it. There's 2 questions. Actually, I'm going to let one person answer the first question, and then we'll popcorn the last question, and then we'll wrap up. What was the shift? This is Nikki. What was the shift you had to make when you have had the highs and then hit lows? What brought you out of it?
So I can answer that, actually. I can answer. I walk myself through this and walk my clients through it. I have a process I do. It's 4 things. 1, acknowledge the feelings. What's going on? Acknowledge the load. We're human beings. We need to feel the load. We need to feel it. We're feelers. We got to feel it. So acknowledge that. Number 2, allow time to process. Allow time for those feelings to process. Many times we're wanting to, oh my God, I need to shift. This positive thing can shift right into. Don't bypass it. Allow time for it to process. And then 3, ask yourself, what am I committed to? What was my commitment? What am I committed to? And number 4, act on your commitment, not your feelings, the commitment. That's the quickest way, fastest way.
Love it.
Mhm.
Beautiful. All right. So final question for all of you guys, round robin style. What's next? What are the
Tiffany!
risks that you're taking now?
For me,
Like nobody wants.
I'm in this place of trying to break my own record. So I'm going after 6-figure contracts now. That's my goal. I'm breaking those records for myself, and I've been saying I'm going to go ahead and close a 6-figure corporate contract. So that's what I'm going after. I'm saying out here loud, so that's like a huge risk to say it. So there you go. There you go. That's my risk. Continuing to have support, and realizing that, like my goal, 100K months, closing 100K more plus contracts. That's my goal.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. Alongside that, one of my risks is, so I just launched a year-long program because I just know that my clients need more support than just the 90 days that we're talking about. So that was a huge risk for me to say, okay, I can lead all of you through this for 12 months. And would you know it, I have 4 people in this program already who are like, Bissy, you are my coach. Tiffany is actually one of my clients. So that's one of the big risks that I'm taking. Same thing with corporate contract. It feels like it's one of the biggest nuts that I've been wanting to crack because, corporate gal want to go back, but in a different capacity. So that's what I'm doing these days.
Yeah. So what is
Love it.
one of the biggest risks that I took is, I don't know if Shameca heard me say this, but I said today that I'm an online business manager instead of hide behind that VA title that I like to slink behind and hide behind. So that's one of the things, and really just stepping into that and saying like, this is what I do, this is how I can help you, and I know I can get you results. That's one of the risks I'm taking. So just getting in that, getting the rhythm, and just really owning that power and stepping into my own.
Love it.
Love it.
Love it. I'm going to answer really quickly, and then we're going to round robin 2 sentences, final words of encouragement, empowerment, whatever it is you want to leave them with for today, and then we're going to end the live stream. So for me, risking being very, very open about my revenue and income, it's a risk. Every time I get ready to go live to do an income report, my stomach is turning. Because I know that I'm meant to lead in the area of money, just like it was turning when I first started shouting out my results and my clients' results. No one was doing that at the time. Now lots of people do it. But when I started doing this years ago, it was like so taboo to talk about that kind of stuff. And so that taking that risk of leading in that way, it's pretty scary, right? But I want you guys to see me go on this journey so that you can see a regular person show you the ins and outs of what becoming looks like, right? And so, guys, I'm super grateful for you showing up the way that you do, in your power, in the fullness of yourself. I have loved every minute of it and every minute of this conversation, and taking time out of your day to be here, to be a point of encouragement, empowerment, and a light for other people as well, because you don't have to share any of this stuff. No one would ever have to know. You could show up and say, I just got it like this. But the reality of it is none of us do. And we work at it every single day. And so with that said, first, I want to thank you. And then secondly, I want to give you each an opportunity. And let's go Ash, Bissy, Gabrielle. I want to give you each an opportunity, just in a couple of sentences, to share like what's on your heart. Really kind of tap into who you may think is watching. What do you want to tell them right now?
Oh, see, Shameca, I thought we were gonna get through this without me crying. I like to cry. I would say to people that are watching and to hearing our successes, hearing the things that we've struggled with, is to know who you are and to listen to who you are and follow that path that is gonna bring out the best in you. Don't resist it. Don't hide it because you're afraid of what people are gonna think of you. You've gotta step into your own, or you're gonna live with regrets. And I think that's especially right now moving because we lost a friend of ours the other day, and I don't think that she lived with any regrets because she was always out there and she was such an inspiration to us all. And to know that you've done everything in your power to do what you were meant to do on this earth, you just have to do it. You can't let things hold you back and let the decisions and the opinions of others get in your way because you're meant to do something great, and you can do it. You can do
Thanks, Ash. Thanks for making me cry.
it.
It's like the norm in our container.
Right.
Hmm. For starters, I must say, and I'm not sure if I've said this directly to you before, Shameca, but if I haven't, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your leadership.
Seriously, don't
Hmm.
make me cry.
Yeah.
No, seriously, thank you for illuminating the path for me, and I'm sure for many others, but for me, I speak for myself here. Thank you. Thank you for not giving up on me. Thank you. So,
You're welcome.
whew, yeah. So, to those of you watching, for me, I feel like I know there's a reason why you're watching. You're not here by coincidence. You're not here because you just happen to have time on your hands. I believe is a divine assigned time. You have a knock on your heart. I know it's scary. I've been there. I'm there every day. But get the support that you need. You do not need to walk this journey alone. There's a prize at the end. There's nothing. And the clock is ticking. Yes, time is an illusion, yet the clock is ticking. You can do this. You totally can do this. Live more, fear less. That's it.
Thank you, Bessie.
Wow. Okay. So for me, one of the things that we, especially as women, we have to be strong. And one of the things I really appreciate about Shameca, is that you literally hold space for us. Like,
Mhm.
you hold space for us. You have prayed with me. Should I be saying that? You have prayed with me. You have covered
Truth.
me. You have covered me. You have prayed with me. You have encouraged me. Late at night, you have hopped on a call with me because I'll just say, "Hey, do you have time to talk real quick?" Thinking I will just do a quick little voice note, and you're like, "What's up?" on the phone, like just calling me. You do things like just random extra calls that's not included in the package, right? Just to hold space, support, you know, be there. I have broken down in front of you with so many different things that I deal with in my personal life. And it's just a pleasure to be in a place where I have the freedom to do that. I've never been in a program like this before where you have someone who is so invested in your wins and your success. You know, where they don't like you literally want us to win. There are a lot of coaches, I've seen a lot of coaches who say they want their clients to win. They say they want their clients to succeed, but if they succeed too much, it's a problem. And being in a place like this, in a space like this where my coach is rooting for me, like genuinely rooting for me, has been so major in my success. This is a thing that we don't realize we need until we have it, and then we realize how pivotal it is in our business. This is a thing that we take for granted. We don't realize the power in having that level of support, because we can have support. Our friends can support us. Our friends can be there, and we can throw ideas back and forth with our friends all the time. But is someone going to hold space for us and call us out on our nonsense? That's different. And we have friends who call us on our nonsense all the time, but hold us to a higher level. It's like there's levels to this. It's holding space. It's being support. It's calling us out, but it's calling us to a higher level, right? This is what you get in working with Shameca. And I feel like if you are here watching this video, this is something that you've been thinking about doing, you've been wanting to do, and you're probably thinking something to the fact of, but can I afford it though? When we make decisions, I can say all of us who made decisions, when we made decisions, I'm pretty sure none of us had the money in our account right away, or we probably had the money for something else, or set aside for something else, or we were all like, I need to get this. My car got totaled. My husband and I are building a house. We need to save up for that. Like, there's all these different things that was going on. It was not convenient at all. It was not convenient. It's never convenient. There's never gonna be a moment where you're gonna be like, this is the perfect time with the perfect amount of money just happens to be. There's never gonna be a moment like that. You're gonna have to sacrifice. It's gonna feel like a sacrifice, and that's what's required to level up. And I know this because I've done it for myself, and I've watched my clients do this, where they invested in, being afraid, and then they're out here crushing goals, right? It's the same thing. And guess what? It trickles down into your business. Because every one of us on here, as a result of investing in this container, our clients level up because we've leveled up. Now they're leveling up. Now my clients are leveling up, right? This is what it's a legacy effect, right? It's not just about this one moment in time. It's a ripple effect that follows to your family, your clients, etc. So when you're making decisions, don't make decisions based on, do I have this right now? I'm deciding this is what I need to do. And let me tell you, like Shameca says to all of us, the money will show up. When you make your decision, it shows up. And when you guys heard me say earlier, I was in a program already, paying that off, invested as a sponsor for her for Play Big event, and then invested in another 4-figure a month program. This is crazy, right? But I did it because I made a decision, and guess what? I remember at the event when I decided to invest in the program, I closed a 12K sale at the event. That was the highest sale that I had closed. Never closed a sale like that in my life. But when you invest on a higher level, some magical, mystical, fairy dust something happens where you just level up in a rapid, speedy way. It's insane, and it feels crazy. But it's not. This is what happens when you level up and you play on this level. I would recommend it to everyone. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10 recommend. 10 out of 10
I highly recommend it. Okay, so I'm cracking up because Gabrielle talked about this magical, mystical, fairy, misty, whatever, pixie dust. Trust and believe it doesn't exist. We do believe in magic, though. I think it's just tied to expansion, right? That investment
is.
level is your signal to the universe that you mean what you say and you want what you say you want,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
With no toe dipping, like I'm in, and then boom. I mean, the same thing happened to Kristen. Kristen was in another program, and then she up leveled into another program, and then up leveled into another program, and with every decision, boom! Next thing you know, 30 days later, she's at $65,000.
Yep.
That wouldn't have happened had she made the decision to say, no, I don't think I can do it.
Yeah.
Because the signal that you're sending out is, I'm not ready for that expansion. I'm staying exactly where I am right now.
Exactly.
And I'm not just saying that. I lead the example. I do the same doggone thing. Trust and believe on the heels or the beginning of my multiple six-figure months, I made 2 huge investments, 6-figure investments, right? And so what happens is like, oh, we playing a bigger game? Right now, most of my clients are showing up paying in full for my 40 to 60K program or wanting to do larger investments down because the signal was there, right?
Yeah.
You've all experienced it. You experienced it with your clients. And here's the other thing. You want to get better results with your clients? There is a ripple effect. A rising tide lifts all ships. So just like Gabrielle just said, as you expand, so will the people that you lead. So will the people that you lead. That's it. All right. We've been yapping for a long time because we could talk about this all freaking day. Because we know that we know that we know that we know that becoming a 100K a month type of woman, by the way, there's a t-shirt coming.
Ready.
Becoming a t-shirt that says I'm a 100K a month type of woman.
Okay.
It's coming.
I'm ready.
It's already designed.
Okay.
Becoming that type of woman is an inside game. It requires you to get uncomfortable, expand, allow yourself to receive, and make some decisions day in and day out. So that's what we wanted to share with you guys today. All of you, thank you so much for hanging out with me this long today. I appreciate you so much. And as you can tell from the comments, they appreciate you as well. We're going to go make some money. So we'll see you guys around. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.